You may have noticed the foam core boards I have mounted on the wall. These are where I post my inspiration as well as some of my own artwork. I love the vividness of Tracy Lewis's watercolors, Jane Kim's incredible bird portraits, and Jen Lobo's natural history illustrations. I have a few of my own pieces up here too, along with photos and reference info on things like feathers and bird morphology. I use an antique glass-fronted cabinet to store some of my supplies and equipment. On the bottom shelf is a pile of sketchbooks and pads. I'm really enjoying this Stonehenge paper for my graphite drawings, and I'll put a link in the description for you if you'd like to try some. On the right is a pile of sheets that include color mixing tests, ink textures, incomplete illustrations, and other bits of work that I'm not willing to part with just yet. On the middle shelf, I keep my Nikon Coolpix camera, which is the one I use to capture video of birds. I love this little hand strap from Peak Designs because the camera is pretty heavy and the strap reduces the fatigue of carrying it. On the top shelf is more camera equipment. I have a little boom mic that I use to record bird sounds while I'm shooting video. I have an older Nikon DSLR that I'd really like to replace, but it's okay for now. And a lav mic by PoweredWise, which I really love and use to record this voiceover. On the other side of the shelf are some of my older sketchbooks and journals, including this one, which I started years ago when I was just learning how to draw and paint birds. I was really into art journaling then too, so I was doing all these elaborate backgrounds with collage and stencils. I keep my tripods tucked into the corner next to the cabinet, and for now my tabletop easel is leaning against the wall over here too. I have a long folding table against the wall, which is where all my watercolor supplies have landed, but those are normally stored in this cabinet on the other side of the studio. This is where I keep all my watercolors, which are all Daniel Smith, and my palettes. I have this large silver nano that I don't really use much anymore, along with my butcher tray, which is my favorite, and this tiny Meaden palette, which is the one I use when I'm traveling. On the right side of this shelf, I've got a few tubes of traditional gouache, which I bought and then didn't really use very much. There's a not quite finished watercolor of a baby robin, and pads of my favorite watercolor papers by Stonehenge, Aqua Hot Press and Aqua Cold Press, in a couple of different sizes. I have my watercolor brushes in this cute little mug a friend gave me. There's a collection of rulers and old paintbrushes in this jar. And this mug was a gift from some friends and is painted to resemble a burrowing owl. That's where I keep my brushes for acrylics. I keep my colored pencils and a couple of reference works on this folding table from IKEA. I always feel so happy when I clean up the studio. It makes me feel energized and focused and ready to get back to work. I hope you enjoyed this little studio tour. Thanks for watching. See you next time.